Hey everyone, this is your English 101. Today we're going to talk about how to get ideas to start to speak, or how to get many ideas, or how to talk about things. I've got those kind of comments a lot. And they always ask, how can you just talk like that? How can you just continue your conversation? Like, where did you get your ideas? And I think that would be a good thing to do a video on this topic. And here you go. I'll be covering two parts in this video. So first part will be about where I get my ideas. And then second part will be how I actually use those ideas to help myself with speaking or even writing. So let's get started. I have 4 resources to get ideas: books, podcasts, videos, and of course my teaching/life moments. So let's talk about books. I remember I said this before. I'm not a big fan of audiobooks. I have changed. I really like audiobooks right now. So let's say audiobooks or just regular books. They gave me a lot of ideas. So when I read books, I tend to think a lot, and I will kind of try to connect with those thoughts with my own life experience and see if I resonate with them. And then I will try to generate ideas in English in my mind. So for books, there are 3 types that I actually read the most. One is biography. That is my favorite type of books. I like reading other people's stories. I like to read and see how they grew up, how they learned their lessons and become who they are right now. So that gives me a lot of ideas to talk about. And some of my videos actually are talking about books and how I learned from them, how I got inspired by them, things like that. So those books gave me a lot of ideas to talk about. Second is self-help. And as I mentioned before, I was not a big fan of self-help books because they're full of fluff. But there are some really good self-help books, including How to Manage Money and The Psychology of Money, all-time favorite. And then I just finished an audiobook called The Gentle Art of Not Giving. It is really good as well. I listened to it and I kept thinking about it. So that is how I got ideas from those books. Novels, not really. Most of the time I read novels for fun, but there are certain novels that definitely give you a lot of ideas to, like, they make you think a lot. Find the books you like. Find the books that make you think. That is the first thing. You have to think about it. Then you can get ideas. But you need to read, right? That is the first thing. Second category that I got my ideas a lot is podcasts. If you have been with me for a long time, you know I'm a super huge fan of podcasts. I think my listening started to getting better because I started to listen to podcasts. And my first podcast was This Sounds Serious. I remember I was still working at a private language school, shredding paper, doing reports, things like those, all brainless work. I was trying to really make sense of my job and trying to take advantage of the time I was doing the brainless work there. I started this podcast, but never thought I would be so into it, and to the point where I actually understood the whole show, which made me realize that I had the potential to really improve my listening. And the funny thing is, after I've understand the whole show, when I talked to my colleagues, and I noticed that my style has changed. I was trying to, not even like a trying. I just spoke like I was one of those people. And that's when I realized I really needed to put a lot of time into listening. I listened to all kinds of styles of podcasts and even videos, try to learn their style, try to learn the way they talk, even intonation, rhythm, everything. Plus, after I understood the content, I was able to share the show with my colleague and doing recommendation and say, hey, have you listened to that podcast? It was really interesting. Have you heard of that story? So everything was based on true stories. So I was really sharing things with them. And because it was about Western stories, so some of them were aware of those kind of things, and they were surprised that I listened to those stories, and then they started to talk about that with me, and I was so happy I was able to engage in the conversation like that with them. And that gave me a lot of confidence. And that is how I continued my podcast journey. My third resource is from YouTube videos. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, like seriously, a lot of YouTube videos, including vlogs, which is my favorite, and then TED Talks. Sometimes I do listen or watch TED Talks, and then of course some of those informative videos about how to. Those are three major resources when it comes to how to get ideas. So vlogs are more here to help me with my conversational language. Well, as I said this before, my instructional language is pretty good, but when it comes to chatting with other people, I want my language to be a little bit more casual, right? So sometimes it can be really formal and it sounds really weird. So that is how I get the language skill out of the video. And TED Talk is when I want to, or when I have a presentation or conference to do, I want to do that certain styles. I will imitate their styles, the way they talk, and then try to kind of incorporate that into my own styles. And that will help me with my presentation skills. Informative videos are the primary one that I get ideas. How to manage time, how to manage money, or how to be productive, or some other things. So not only I'm learning the styles, how to present, how to demonstrate, but also learning the content so I can share that content with other people. And that is how I get ideas from my videos. And the last part is teaching/life moments. I am the kind of person I constantly think about things. So whether it's my students asking me questions or they're sharing their thoughts with me, they're always something that kind of, resonates with my own experience because I used to be a learner. So when they ask those questions and I will start to think, when I was a student, what did I do to those kind of things? And then I will, talk about that. And I feel like it was worth talking about it. And then I will mention that. In my mind, it's constantly spinning. So that's how I get my ideas. And of course, chatting with my friends and colleagues, get some ideas from them. I mean, my colleague on Monday, we're just on Zoom talking about some random things in our students. So we were saying that students now are more like going to you for answers, not going to you for methods. And then we started to talk about that and why is that? And then that's how I learn from them and get ideas. This part will be talking about how to get ideas or how to gather ideas and use them to help you with speaking or even writing. There are three ways. The first step, I've mentioned this so many times in this video, that is thinking. You have to think. When you see something, when you read something, when you listen to something, your first reaction is to think. Think about what? Think about why. Think about, why am I reading this? Oh, how can I learn from it? Or what did I learn? Or what have I learned from this thing? It doesn't matter if it's from a book, podcast, or a video, or even some words from someone. What do you think? Right? Think about that. And then think about that in English. That is the most important thing. I know it's very trending to talk about thinking in English, talking in English, but it's really important if you can do it. So what you need to do is to start from something simple. So you're not going to go really crazy that you have watched a documentary and started to talking about the whole show. But you can start with something like, is that good or bad? So that's very simple. It is really good. I like it. Why do you like it? Oh, it has the actors I like. Okay, and why do you like the actors? Something like that. Start to think in English in simple things, if that's what you can handle at that moment. If you're at intermediate level, then you can expand your answers a little bit more. Why good? Why bad? You feel sad about it. Why are you feeling sad about it? Right? Give a little bit more reasons. But again, if you think your language is a little bit limited, and then you can just use very, very simple words, sentence structures to think in English. But it is important to think in English, right? So do that in English. First reaction is English. First reaction is not your own language. That is very important. Train yourself that way. By the time you will always think in English first. when it comes to English content. Second one is to write. And of course, once you think, your thoughts will, just disappear, fade away very fast. But if you can write, that first will help you with your writing. It doesn't matter if your writing is beautiful or ugly. That is not the point. The point is to record your ideas. Write them down. Forget about grammar. Forget about vocabulary. Can you just write everything that you have just thought about in English right away without translating? That is very important. So try that. And again, you can do that in a simple, intermediate, and advanced way. Start with a very simple sentence and then add a little bit more complicated grammar. And then for advanced, you can do something crazy, right? Give a commentary. So that is something you can think about. And the last one, of course, we're talking about speaking, then you gotta talk. But talk here, we're talking about impromptu speaking. We're not talking about planned or script speaking. Some of you asked me how I do my videos. 90% of my videos are non-script. So I don't have anything in front of me. I'll just talk as I thought about everything. But some of my videos, probably about like 8% of my videos, I would have a mind map or bullet points, things like that, to just remind me the content, trying to stay on track. But then there are a couple of videos I was trying to write a script first, and then I never actually followed that. I'm not saying that it's bad, but if you do want to train yourself to speak right away in English, then impromptu speaking is the thing you need to practice. So after you pass that certain stages and you want to challenge yourself, maybe when you see something, like say I'm looking around, okay, I saw the picture. What is about the picture? Can you talk about it? And you can say, oh, that's Bob's picture when Bob was little. I think that was 8 weeks ago. He was really cute. Do some really simple descriptive talking. That's it. You don't have to go crazy. Start with the simple stuff and then go a little bit higher. Go a little bit higher, right? Your goal is to get better every time. Your goal is not to get perfect. All in all, let's summarize the video. So at the end, I'm going to summarize the whole thing. How you get ideas is to read, watch, listen. Be aware of your surroundings. Think about that. Right? Read more, learn ideas, learn content, and then you have something to talk about. Watch popular shows, even though you don't like them so much, but at least know them. And when they talk about those shows, you say, oh, I am aware of the show, but I have never seen that before. Or I haven't seen that yet, but at least you know it. I have perfect example for that when I first started chatting with other people. Every time when they mention a movie or book, I had no idea what they were talking, so I had to remember the name and then Google it and figure out, oh, this is the movie. I know the Chinese name, but I don't know the English name. So why? Because I haven't read anything about it in English. So input is very important. If you are looking for ideas, get ideas first. How do you get ideas? Books, videos, podcasts, other people, stories, things like that. Think about it. After you watch this video, you can try it. What do you think about this video? Write your ideas, write your thoughts in English, right? And you can even talk about this video by yourself, saying, I don't like her videos. I think, yeah, it's too much or something like that. But you gotta try it. First thing is to take information. Second thing is to take it out, right? So that is how you gather the ideas. That is it. Hope you like it. Again, the whole channel is not for, to be very selfish, this whole thing is basically for me to improve my English. And so far, I'm very happy about my progress. I think I've improved a lot. If I talk too fast, well, I'm sorry for that, but not really. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Sit there. actually I was able to